What's up? What's up? What's up? This is AJ. This is the What We Gonna Do podcast. I am feeling good. I know I say that every time, but I think people need to hear it, man. Like if you're not feeling good, just say it out loud anyway. You know what I mean? Make yourself feel good or whatever. It's sunny outside. I'm using some different software. I got a dope ass guest that I am about to introduce here in just a minute, and I'm looking forward to this one. You know what I mean? This was unexpected. I didn't even know it was kind of in the air, but I'm glad we are finally making it happen, because this individual I've been having conversations with for a while. If you looked at the show notes, you already know who it is, but I have to give him an actual real deal introduction, and I'm going to do that here in just a minute. Let me give y'all the regular stuff. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, What We Gonna Do Pod. That's GONE. If you would like to email me whatwegondoo@gmail.com. If you want me to guest on your show, you want to do a live, you want to talk about some money, whatever it is, feel free to email me or hit me in the DMs. Also, the What We Gonna Do podcast will be streaming on 247liveculture.com, who is dishing black culture always and always. Shout out to 247liveculture.com. Hopefully I said that clearly, but y'all know what it is. Shout out to them. Y'all gonna see me on there, pretty soon. It might even be while you're listening to this episode. So if you're here from 247liveculture.com, let me know. Hit me on Twitter, hit me on Instagram. Make sure you tag everybody so they know, we all in the family now or whatever. All right. Again, like I said, this should be a fun one. I would like to welcome a good dude and good spirit to the show. He's one half of the Oversaturated Podcast. Let's welcome the mind of Ralph, a.k.a. Ralph Abernathy, a.k.a. Turnpike Ike, a.k.a. Ralphie the Body, to the show. What's up, bro?
Hold on, man. You threw me off. Yeah. My man did research on that one. I love it. Hey, man. First of all, thank you, AJ, for allowing me on your platform. I appreciate this, bro. What up to the What We Gonna Do listeners? But I am Ralph, one half of the Oversaturated The Podcast. Salute to Johnny. I'm out here. I appreciate the opportunity, bro.
Nah, man, look, I appreciate you, man. Like I say, this came about in a roundabout way in the DMs, and I was like, hell yeah. I was like, shit, what you mean? You want to be on the show? I'm like, look.
Right. You know what?
No, you go ahead.
We did the typical black man thing, like, oh man, I'm just trying to be like you. I'm just trying to be like you. I see you out here. I was like, man, I ain't nothing until I get on What We Gonna Do. And you was like, word? I was like, oh, I was joking, but hey, I'm with it. Like, I'm always down to collab. Shit. We have I think we just have a genuine, like, kind of like, I would say damn near kinship, on the timeline, just of the stuff that we go back and forth over. It's never been, we debate about music and sports or whatever all day, every day. You see me and AJ going back and forth about something. So it's kind of long overdue, I would say, in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, you are one of few people who can get me to talk about shit that I don't talk about online. I will only do it with Ralph or whatever, you know what I mean? I will only have certain conversations. That is it. Once it get past a certain point, y'all will see me. Over the years, I've literally dipped out of conversations that Ralph and I kind of started or whatever. I've literally just dipped, like, all right, I gotta go. Because if I don't stop now, I'm going to be doing this until tomorrow morning or whatever, because I can go back. And Ralph, he'll come back in with another one. You know what I mean? And it'll just keep going and keep going. And eventually I'll just be like, all right, let me go. Let me relax. Let me stop.
Right.
But now look, man, this is good. And anytime people say that, I'm kind of shocked. Whether it's joking, whether it's serious, it's like, oh, for real? It's like, word? Like, I didn't even know people gave it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to get to this point, and I try not to talk about it as much anymore because I know some people may take it the wrong way, but I do still have that thing in the back of my head. And I've heard people who have like TV shows and millions of dollars where they have that same thing of where they don't really think anybody is listening. They don't think anybody is supporting. Yeah. And it's like, it trips me out when I do hear people that's like, hey, I like this show. I like this. See, CEO Hayes, he hit me up on Twitter and he was like, man, I ain't even get to tell you such and such about the show. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, man, you listen, you know what I mean? Like, even though I know, like, or I think whoever listens is kind of tripped out when somebody actually hit me and be like, hey, man, I think that was really dope. It don't matter how long I've known you. When I know you listen and you specifically talked about that episode, it's like, all right, this is different. You know what I mean? I appreciate likes, retweets, and stuff like that. But when I see Dan or whoever it is kind of take something out of the show, it's like, oh, they're listening like for real, not just for social media and, you know, to show support. Like they're actually like a fan of the show or whatever, which is dope. Like I say, man, but I ain't nobody. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be. Look, what you? First of all, hold on. Let me circle back to this real quick. Y'all doing like live shows and meet and greets. I seen a picture with Barack Obama. Like, what y'all talking about? Y'all talking about me? I ain't doing nothing over
here. You wild, man. Hey, man, I think we built up a decent, you know, support base. I wouldn't say fan base because I don't have a talent. You know what I'm saying? Me and my friends just talk shit in the mic and people just happen to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And we have a good core of people around us that help, you know, support the shows, share links, tell people about us. So it's cool, man. Yeah, we did our event. It turned out really, really well. And I feel blessed and fortunate enough to have that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something I don't take for granted at all.
That's what's up, man. And it's always good to see, man. And I know y'all have a good time, whether you dancing with your intro mute, whatever it is. When I see, especially when I see the videos, it's like, man, them dudes having a good time. And like I say, man, I love that because it's like, man, they got like, you know, it's just good energy when I see it because it's like black man joy, black boy joy. I'm like, man, I be happy to see other men being happy and black, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because there's a lot that can get us down and get us, you know, in a bad state. So, you know, we try to put our all into what we do and, you know, people enjoy it. So, you know, that brings up our spirits when we see the love that we put into this being reciprocated through, you know, likes, retweets, and people actually listening to the content that we put out, you know?
Yeah, man. And again, it's okay. Like, it's okay to be happy. The Ralph the Body, now listen, the Ralph the Body shit is hilarious. But then it's like, you see Dan doing it, you see this person doing it, and I'm like, yo, man, people can have fun. Like, stuff ain't got to be so. I like, and these people may not know this about me, but it's like, yeah, even though I may not talk about it online, it's like, yo, I have fun. I do karaoke. I probably have never said that on any episode I've done before today, but I do so much stuff that my family sees me do that I don't even talk about. But it's like, it's good for people to know that, man, we're multifaceted, man. We can be serious, but at the same time, man, hey, we can smile, man. We can enjoy ourselves, man. And it ain't no problem with a black man being able to enjoy himself and be a part, you know, of the Ralph the Body challenge.
Right, exactly. Because I didn't know where that was going, and then, you know, we just tried something to see if people actually participate, and they did. So, hey, shout out to Dan. You know, shout out to Dan.
Oh yeah, no, that made me laugh, man. That made me laugh. Okay, so we kind of talked about it a little bit, but I want you to, you know, kind of see if you can just hit it on the head and summarize. Can you tell people about the podcast? And I don't know if you've given it out already, but tell them exactly where they can find you.
Okay, sure. Oversaturated The Podcast started about 2.5 years ago. Oversaturated is just a play on words because the podcast market is oversaturated. And the topics that me and my friend, my partner, my brother, Johnny, we talk about are just oversaturated in themselves. Because, you know, you listen to the show, AJ, we can talk about rap 1 minute, Marvel the next minute, battle rap. We all over the place. And then we can get, you know, into some deep topics as well. So, you know, check us out. We're on all major streaming platforms. But if you want a central location, go check us out on oversatthepod.com.
Already. That's what's up. Now, hey, look, y'all make sure, go check them out. Let me know, you know what I mean? Hit them up. Different kind of show. I would definitely say that out of all the different shows that I've heard, that I've listened to over the years, their content is delivered in a different way. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's the fact that, you know, they're Southern. I don't know if it's the fact that they're friends. I don't know if it's the topics, but it is definitely different than what you're going to get in some other places. You know, if you know.
Now, I appreciate that. Now, let me touch on that. Like, you know what? You're so crazy. You identified me as a Southerner, and I'm from St. Louis. Now, I don't take offense to that at all because if anybody's from the Midwest and you're from St. Louis, you kind of understand that it's just an extension of the South anyway. We just like Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, I'm glad you said that. You so right. It's so crazy because again, being in Arkansas, you know what I mean? When you talk about Missouri, St. Louis, and just these surrounding states or whatever and cities, it's like from where I come from, where I grew up, it's like everybody is the South or whatever. It's like, okay, Nelly, I know we joke about Nelly, you and I, we kind of go back and forth, but it's like Nelly, he Midwest, but to me, he the South too or whatever. It's like, I may not talk about it as much, but I'm like, yo, all that drop down, get your ego, all them damn songs was so heavy out here that it's like, there's no disconnect. Like there is a straight connection between the South and the Midwest. We too close to each other.
Yep. Exactly. Like, people, only talk about, Chicago, Detroit. And, I get why. But those are more, they're recognized by the East Coast, our East Coast brethren. But when you talk about St. Louis, oh, that's damn near the South. Like, it's just another Southern city because Southern acts come here and flourish a lot. But, like, I can count on my hand how many times Jay-Z been here. Maybe 3 times.
Shit. I don't know if Jay-Z done ever been a little shit. If he... what's funny is, and this is just a random piece of information, but A-Rod and Jennifer Lopez came and ate in Little Rock. That was like a, and they just came and ate.
That's a big deal. That's like a big, I can imagine.
Like Usher used to come to Little Rock or whatever. Like, so we used to have some people like back in the day for Juneteenth and whatever little events, but it kind of went down. Mm-hmm. And then I remember when Kevin Hart came and I went to go see Kevin Hart in Little Rock or whatever. And we're growing, but we're not like other places. So when you say Jay-Z been there 3 times, it's like, damn, you know what I mean? We might get Yo Gotti 3 times. We ain't get Jay-Z.
Yo Gotti damn near got a house here. So it's like, I don't like so like, but it's still an extension of the South for the most part. Most people don't want to admit that, but like we're still Southerners at heart. So I never say like I just wanted to point that out. I didn't take offense to it at all. But St. Louis is definitely an extension of the South because hell, everybody from here is from Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama. It goes on.
Yeah, but like you say, just talking about that. Y'all had, I mean, again, I know y'all ain't got them, I know it's kind of salty, now with the, Los Angeles Rams or whatever, but it's like, y'all had a pro football team. Y'all got St. Louis Cardinals, like y'all got, it's so crazy that, and I talk about this because I'm from Arkansas, and I'm like, yo, I'm upset that Texas got this, Louisiana got this, Chicago got this, Memphis got a fucking basketball team, Tennessee got stuff, Arkansas, we ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this is crazy that literally damn near every surrounding state has something, and we got the fucking Razorbacks.
Yeah, I say that would piss me off. And then it's like they not even like for the moment they could be good. Like I think they had like 10 wins a few years ago, or was it like longer than that?
Okay, look, we're not gonna talk about that right now because me and the Razorbacks. Listen, again, this is something I have never talked about until today, and it's not gonna happen today either. But Razorbacks, I got a love-hate relationship with the Razorbacks, and I am born and raised in Arkansas, period, through and through.
Yeah.
They the worst in the SEC, and Lord, it's like and I told people online, man, it is a bad relationship. Like this is an abusive relationship, man. You know what I mean? They have, we ain't got no SEC. I don't think we've had an SEC championship in God knows when, and we've never had a national championship. And I'm like, yo, I should be able to say I'm done with you and move on with my life. I don't know why people feel like I have to be indebted to the Razorbacks. I like Bama. I'm a Bama fan. I'm sorry. People can call it whatever they want to call it. Bama has a lot of black student athletes. These individuals get their degrees. They go on to play professionally. The Razorbacks are trash. Okay.
I just let you have that. Like I understand you had to get that hurt out.
I got to,
hey. You got it, AJ. I ain't gonna say nothing.
All right. Why look, that's so funny, man. I kind of think about that. Like, it's so much stuff I haven't talked about on here that I could talk about, man. And I intentionally choose not to.
I understand, man. You got triggered by that. You got triggered by that Arkansas Razorback comment. I did not know what was going on.
First of all, I'm still sitting here thinking, how the hell they got Jay-Z 3 times and we ain't. I'm still kind of tight about that. Like, hold up now. We got Kevin Hart. These niggas got Jay-Z. What the type of shit is that? Like, for real? That's what we doing? We getting niggas from the 85 South show. You know what I mean? That's what we get. Yeah. That's what we get in Arkansas.
But it's just like I think that St. Louis is a big enough city, and it's just like we used to get that type of love when Nelly was, undoubtedly one of the top names in hip hop.
Yeah.
But right now, it just seems like people prefer Kansas City for tours and stuff like that. So as somebody from St. Louis right now, they have to travel for the people like those bigger artists. Like Jay-Z's not coming here. Beyonce may come here if she adds like a third leg to her tour or something like that. And Busch Stadium never let rap or a big black artist ever do a concert here. But Bon Jovi was there like... Man, we done went off on a tangent, but yeah, it's like I'm getting tight thinking about that because like it used to be a point in time where everybody would come here, and then all of a sudden it just kind of changed, and I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, man. No, you making a good point because you actually learning me some stuff because you are right. Y'all had a major artist, and in Arkansas, I don't think we've ever had one. Mike Jones apparently is from Arkansas, but he never claimed us. Whatchamacallit, Neo is from Arkansas, but he never claims us. So we've never really had anybody. We've only had gang banging and Bill Clinton. That's like our major shit. Like that's it. We don't have. So it does. That actually makes sense when you say it like that. It's like y'all have had stuff that we've never had, man. And I don't know if we ever will. Like when Louisiana was really like bubbling, even when Boosie kind of went to another level or whatever, I was like, damn, Arkansas, we don't have no underground scene like Louisiana does. And I lived in Louisiana, but I'm like, just like when you talking about St. Louis and just, the city as a whole, it's like we've never had a scene like y'all have had. We've never had a little run or whatever, even like Louisiana has had. Y'all have had something like that. Arkansas has not.
Yeah, and I think me and Johnny talked about this, like you kind of want to have that identification in hip hop on the mainstream level. Like it's cool that everybody's around here doing their own thing, but you want to see yourself on the mainstream level, right? So Nelly was that undoubtedly for us. And then so on and so forth with the artists that came behind him. So it's kind of like it kind of fucked us up a little bit when that flame fizzled out for whatever reason it happened because I have my theories on it. I just don't want to get into it too much, but I can understand where you're coming from when you say I'm from Arkansas, but look at this Arkansas MC that's out here doing their thing and everybody loves what they're doing. So it's like you want to have that identification from hip hop because everybody can't be from New York, Jersey, Philly.
Exactly.
From the, or the West Coast scenes. Like everybody's not from that. Those are two coasts that I just said, but what about the middle of the map?
Yep. No, you look, and you right. And I know for y'all who are listening, y'all already know, yes, I'm from Little Rock. I say Little Rock and Arkansas interchangeably because some people, they like, what's Little Rock and what's Arkansas? So sometimes you'll hear me say Arkansas, sometimes you'll hear me say Little Rock or whatever, but I'm Little Rock born and raised or whatever. But Little Rock is in Arkansas. For y'all people out there who may just be tuning in to this one just because I got Ralph on the show or whatever. Yes, I'm from Little Rock. When I say Arkansas, I'm talking about Little Rock because, yes, if Arkansas is a red state right now. We were blue, and even Little Rock is still blue or whatever, but we are about that money. This is where the Waltons are from, and this is where they founded a lot of businesses or whatever. So Arkansas is like I consider it a retirement state. It's really not for the youth. It's really for older people with money, primarily white people with money, or people who like the country or whatever. Arkansas is the natural state. Like we earned that name. That is our name, and it continues to be our name because we got a lot of farms and a whole bunch of stuff for older white people who got money. I gotta say it like that so people know. Okay, that was a quick little thing. I'm glad we talked about that because you actually put me onto some stuff that I really just never thought about. And it's gonna it may tie into some of this other stuff, but this episode will be different for those of you that are listening to my past episodes. And if you haven't, go back, check them out or whatever, but this will be a little bit different. Like I said, this is gonna be more lighthearted, a little bit more fun.
Okay.
So this one, and it kind of goes back, but kind of want to, when I thought about this and I was coming up with an episode, I'm like, all right, I got to come up with some good stuff, but at the same time, some things that I can talk to that I don't typically talk to or whatever. Wow. So Ralph, why are folks so hard on Aisha? Now, before you start, before you answer, I know this story, this has been going on this year or whatever, and it's kind of, it's died down a little bit for her. But I want to say it started with Red Table Talk in May, where she talked about male attention, which made folks flash back to a tweet from 2015 about keeping the good stuff covered up. Then she got it again for her dancing at the opening of her restaurant. I feel like, when she was just a basketball wife, like, I remember the cutoff, because I feel like Aisha, at least to me, she was always pretty or whatever, but she was just a basketball wife or whatever. They only had like one kid, and this was the little girl, and this was years ago, before she is what she is today as far as being a businesswoman or whatever. But when she was just a basketball wife, shit was all good. But once she became an entrepreneur, the energy started shifting. Why do you think, folks are so hard on Aisha?
Oh man, that's a good take, because I never thought about her being an entrepreneur. I know she owns the restaurant. I know she had the cooking show or whatever, which I don't think she seasons her food well, but that's another story. But that's my little shout at Aisha. But I always thought, like you said, I always thought that she was a very pretty, very beautiful woman. I never understood the whole backlash against her, but she does come off as bratty, and I think that's where people kind of have their discontent for her. Because she's always put her foot in her mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's always been something.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a never ending story almost. So it's kind of like, whenever she does say something, and in her moment of vulnerability on the Red Talk, table, I think she was open and honest. And sometimes some people's honesty can still rub people the wrong way.
Yeah.
No matter what. And that's just her truth. Like, she probably does want to be wanted by other men, even though she is a married woman. Hey, look. That's not for me to understand.
Yeah.
But I just think that her past transgressions leading up to certain things just be like, all right, girl, sit down. Like, that's what my fiance would say. All right, girl, sit down.
Yeah.
What you doing?
No.
So,
and man, it's like, this is my thing. I get that, but I guess I look at her differently, man, because Aisha, compared to like whatever, the Real Housewives of Potomac or whatever, like the people who are like really high and pretentious, Aisha is like a real chick. Like, she really is more down to earth than what I feel like people give her. And it seems like she has been genuine over the years, and she's not been like this person that's so high and mighty. You know what I mean? Whether it's her, what she's doing at games, and how she's talking about people are playing, or how she's tweeting. I do feel like over the years, people just pick on her. And I think it's because they pick on Steph. Like, I feel like, unlike Jay-Z and Beyonce, and I hate to use them in comparison, but it's like, okay, let's say that they're celebrated, whereas Steph and Aisha don't get celebrated for the same things. Aisha does not get celebrated for her being a businesswoman. Steph does not get celebrated for his business moves and as a basketball player. Like, they almost look at him like, you're too good. Like, the media, like, we feel like you're too good. We want some dirt. This isn't real. Like, y'all are too nice. Y'all are too cute. This is too correct. And it's like, nobody likes that.
I like that, because, like, I mean, let's give them some NBA peers. Let's look at LeBron and Savannah, right?
Yep.
Like, LeBron and Savannah are celebrated for the things that they do.
Yes.
And LeBron is a great player, great generational player, just like Steph is.
Yep.
So I can't understand why, more people love LeBron and his wife and not like Steph and his wife. I think it's still that, like, Steph ain't supposed to be here. I think, it's apprehension against Steph and his game and what he's been able to do.
Yep.
And then you have this beautiful wife and you have beautiful kids. Like, I don't get, like, I just don't like Steph because he likes kids. But no, I'm not a Warriors fan, like, by any means. So that's why I don't like Steph. Like, if Steph played for the Spurs, which I am a fan of, I'll be screaming for Steph. You know what I'm saying? Funny. But do I acknowledge him as being an all-time great player? Hell yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. And you make a good point, actually, when you say that, when you talk about Savannah, because it's like, we don't necessarily know what Savannah is doing. And this is where I talked about the transition from just being a basketball wife to being this business, and people seeing you more and they're hearing from you more, because I think the media, and I think even Black women can call it whatever they want to call it, but I think people don't want to hear from her. You know what I mean? It's so weird how that is. It's like, people almost want Aisha to stay in her place, man. You know what I mean? It's okay for Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade, because Gabrielle was already established. She had her own thing going. So she can be a businesswoman. She can be on Being Mary Jane and do whatever. And Dwayne Wade can do whatever he want to do. And it's okay. Again, celebrate it. But again, for whatever reason, it's just like everybody is kind of down on them. And that's the only reason, I wanted to circle back to it. Not even just to hit it differently than everybody was kind of tripping about that red table talk shit. That didn't really affect me. Like, I got it. I've been married for 10 years. It made perfect sense to me. I didn't even see what the big deal was. But then when I thought about it, I was like, man, I think people just don't like them.
Like her. That's what it is.
That's it. That's what I, boiled it down to. So what that actually took me to was kind of like, the next thought of, I be feeling like women, they can't do nothing without getting roasted. Is it jealousy? And I do feel like some of the Aisha stuff, it may be jealousy, you know what I mean, for what she's doing, because she's not doing what the Real Housewives of Atlanta are doing or whatever. She's not like other basketball wives that are starting businesses or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I think some of y'all are just purely hating on her because she's not like other people. And then I think some of y'all are jealous because it's like, oh, she's got the pretty kids and she has the pretty teeth and Steph's mom is pretty. I just had to throw that in or whatever. You know what I mean? Shout out to Dale Curry. But that whole look, it's like, I think people just feel a certain way just looking at them.
And you know what? I think now that you say that, like she comes off as if she's trying to be a perfect being or whatever. And I think that, like we said, they always rubs people the wrong way. But she has probably been one of the most vocal women to have the most successful basketball player as a husband.
Yeah.
Because those basketball wives are merely, they're probably lower tier players or baby mamas, for, a lack of a better word. So I think that's probably why, like, look at the stage that she gets, because she's Steph Curry's wife. And that's not to diminish Aisha for anything that she says or does, because I believe that Aisha is a great woman by herself. It's just that when you move with your husband, and you're allowed to speak and people pay attention to your every word because you're his wife, I think that can promote a level of jealousy.
No,
because Savannah James, I've never heard her talk before. Ever. And we've been knowing Savannah James since 2003 when they was so
I done heard Bronny, I done heard all the kids.
That's right. Savannah don't talk. And I think that's why people more like Savannah. Like, they was like, oh, just look at her being the stoic woman in the background, not really saying nothing. But that don't mean she don't run the hell out of LeBron.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And look, to put a button on this, I just want to let y'all know my personal feelings is it's okay for women to be like Aisha. And it's, like, if in my mind, if all of these other women that we are seeing on the in the media, on IG, Twitter, whatever the case may be, if it's okay for them to be around and be this and be whatever, it's okay for Aisha to be Aisha. She can be awkward. She can be corny. She can not season her food or whatever. You know what I mean? Remember what I say? I'm like, I don't think Aisha had never been down Martin Luther King Boulevard. You know what I mean?
Neither one. None of them.
But when you look at all the different, but that's also a beautiful thing about Black women. And there are so many different types in different shades. And it's like, this is cool too. Like, y'all don't have to, like, just throw her under the bus. And I don't give a damn. Y'all can say, oh, it's because of her statements and it's because of this. I think y'all got some people, I think, got some self-hate. And they got something going on internally to where they choose her. Y'all could pick to go at y'all could pick Cardi, y'all could pick whatever y'all want to pick. Y'all specifically target this woman. And this is not the only woman. I think online, women seem to face a tougher time on social media. Whether it's Nicki, Iggy, Cardi, what's going on with Meg now, it seems like, and I want to get your opinion on this, but it seems like, man, women can't just be on social media or whatever. And the guys are starting to get it too, even with Fab and driving the boat, and that shit was wild. Riding the boat, whatever you want to call it. The guys are starting to get it, but it's not the same type of energy. LeBron can be in a deep, he can like a pick or whatever, he can do whatever, you know what I mean? And he don't necessarily get that same thing that some of these women get. Do you think, personally, do you think that women face a tougher time on social media? Like, they can't just be women and talk?
Well, I guess because I haven't seen it from that aspect, I'll just say no. But I'm trying to, I'm always, trying to learn and retool my thinking. When I look at Nicki, I look at Cardi, I look at Megan, or any female celebrity, I think once they do open their mouths against the status quo, they're always going to be met with some type of opposition. I think that's where we're going with it.
Yeah.
Like, anytime, let's just say Nikki says something against, whatever, like it's going to be a rough road.
Yeah. No, and I guess it's going to be a rough road, and men joke about it and the women joke about it. I just, what I'm thinking more so is like, even in our small little social circle or whatever, as soon as women start saying something or kind of doing the same jokes that men do all the time, they kind of get attacked like immediately. And that's one thing that women talk about is like, they cannot operate like men in the same capacity. And I guess I see it and I feel it on social media because I be like, damn, why is this person trending? Like for doing like regular, they be doing regular stuff and they just be trending. You don't see a Jadakiss trending, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you don't see, it could be a guy literally doing the same thing. Lil Duval got to trending for like one comment. Lil Duval done said so much shit on social media and he got to trending for like the weirdest thing out of all the things that he has said. But I see it a lot with women to where it's like, all right, even beyond like the Nicki and Cardi beef, I hear a lot of people saying, man, Nicki got to quit talking about herself. She got to quit doing this. And sometimes I be like, I feel that because it's kind of like I see people tired of hearing it, but at the same time, I'm like, but why though? I'm like, it's other people that talk about they say. I be just thinking like, man, there's other people talk about they sales, but y'all like kill her for doing it because her stuff gets blown up. Whereas this other artist, it don't get blown up.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Nicki because it's like with Nicki, I talked about this before. I feel like Nicki doesn't move like the queen that she should, that she should be heralded as. You know what I'm saying? Like Nicki could be Beyonce status.
Yeah.
But she brings herself down when she talks too much and claps back at people that she don't even have to acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? But on the other side of that, I'm not mad at Nicki for attacking those that attack her. Like, she's human. We're all human. We can't expect all those threats and those under the table comments and stuff like that for Nicki to just keep letting that stuff go. That's why she did what she did with Joe on the on her Queen Radio. But I get it from both sides. Like if Nicki just, I feel like she doesn't move the way that she should career wise sometimes.
Yeah.
That's just me personally looking at it from because I mean, for Quiet as Kept, I mean, I'm a fan, so like I just hate to see somebody move like that.
But listen, I think people forget, and maybe I don't remember the exact timeline, but I feel like there was a time period where Nicki was quiet. Like I want to say before the pink print, Nicki was quiet.
Yeah.
And again, she wasn't in all these headlines, this, that, and the third, but she might have had all of these different feelings. But again, she was quiet. And it's like then when she come back and she get to talking about I'm this woman with this, I'm this woman with this, it's like, all right, here come the jokes, here come to this. Oh, shut up. You know what I mean? Don't be talking about this. Don't be talking about that. Yeah. And again, it's like, why can't I? And I remember going through some of her stuff and she's like, damn, you know what's crazy? I've been talking about myself, but somehow now certain things are starting to get like, this Nicki hate train. I know people are going to be like, man, that shit don't exist. I kind of think it exists. I kind of believe it exists, man, because if you literally go back, she be dropping like actual facts. It's like, damn, I've been talking about I had this many billboards and now it's like blowing up and y'all like cracking on me for talking about it. Like I've been like, she literally been doing shit for years and it wasn't blowing up like that.
The Nicki hate train really blew up when Cardi's ascension came. And it's like, okay, now we see an explosion of women rappers. Now we want to push somebody that we held up for 10 years as, one of the best women MCs out the paint. And it's like, we can have Cardi, we can have Megan, we can have, Rhapsody, we can have all these other women MCs around and not push Nicki out. Because I think that's where Nicki is coming from. Like, hey, I've been doing this when there wasn't nobody else around mainstream wise. Now that there's a few sprinkled in mainstream, y'all want to get me out the paint? Yeah. That don't work like that.
Yeah, and of course, not to just talk about Nicki, but I get it. But at the same time, I'd be like, all right, man, some of this stuff is light. Like, some of this stuff is really light. Even with Iggy, as many people feel however many different ways about Iggy, it's like, all right, man, she kind of self-destructed and she messed her own self up. Because people do get caught up in social media, like to where you arguing with stuff that you shouldn't care about. Again, maybe some guys wouldn't do that, but then again, we see on Instagram where it's guys that are replying to other things in the comments or whatever. It's just that that stuff don't make the shade room. That stuff don't make it to this level or whatever. So people don't talk about it on TMZ. But of course, if it's Iggy or if it's Cardi, clapping back at somebody, it's like, oh, we got to make this a headline. That was my whole argument, is that with these women that are doing music, that are popular, we don't have to make everything that they do a headline. Like, they can be women and operate in the same space as men. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, again, we, social media jumps on women for just doing regular stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? And that was kind of like my whole, my whole thought with that. To move from that, and we're gonna jump, we're gonna jump around. This is just how I was thinking of things in my head or whatever. Cash App Fridays. Okay. Sick of that shit. Sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of anybody, including celebrities, that say, if you follow me and retweet this and tell a friend and do a bunch of other random shit, that they will send you money. The odds of this shit is worse than the lottery. Like, it's horrible. I was, for a period of time, I was going around asking everybody, like, all right, did you get something? Did you get $1? Because I think it's funny. I did it a few times or whatever, because I was like, I remember, again, I'm not the biggest like social media person, but when I came back to Twitter, and of course I've been on there for a while, I was like, man, this Cash App thing is like a real deal. Like, they do like Cash App Fridays, and this is not just like random people. This is literally Cash App, the freaking company doing this too or whatever. You know what I mean? And I don't be, it don't be seeming like nobody win none, or it be like somebody that's from Kazakhstan or something. They got the money, and I'm like, yo, who are these people? Are these bots? Are y'all creating these accounts that are getting this money that y'all are not actually sending out? Because I don't see no real people. Just like Ed McMahon, Publishers Clearinghouse, I don't see nobody winning. I don't see nobody. Sick of it.
Right. I fell for the Cash App Fridays a few times. Like, I was like, oh man. And like you said, this is literally the Cash App verified account saying that we're going to send out money. I'm like, well, if I get a quick $100, cool. I didn't get paid this week, so I'm like, I'll take that 100. But it's all a scam. Like, at the end of the day, I was like, because they're giving that money to a bot or somebody that's, like you said, over in some Eastern European country I can't pronounce. So what does that benefit me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool that I see it, y'all getting traffic. And that's probably just to get more downloads of the app.
That's exactly what I think. I think what Popeyes did involuntarily, Cash App does voluntarily every Friday. I feel like that's basically what they do. They get their little 70,000 retweets. They get this. They do that every week, but it doesn't blow up like the Popeyes, spicy chicken sandwich shit. But it's like literally when everybody is done talking about Popeyes, Cash App Fridays is gonna be here next Friday. I guarantee. People, and I'm just like, all right, man. I just want to see somebody. I want to see somebody I know get something. So I believe it's real. I always said that about Ed McMahon. I say, look, I ain't never seen nobody in my neighborhood win that shit. When I see somebody in my neighborhood win, then I believe it's possible. Till then, I don't believe it.
And I'm talking about not just a black person. Like, you got not these generic face people they be trying to pick. Nah, I need to see like a real, I hate to say it, but real nigga. Like, I want to see a real person win this. So I was like, until then, don't be
no celebrity. Face, I don't want to see Vince Staples get $100.
Nah, be a paid actor. I'm good.
I just thought that was funny, but I'm just like, yo, I'm sick of it, man. They need to stop doing it. At this point, I done blocked and muted all of that shit, man, because I'm tired of seeing it, man. I'm like, yo, I ain't never gonna get nothing, man. I'd rather go spend my little $2 and play the lottery, man. I'm sick of tagging y'all and retweeting y'all and getting y'all stuff on my social media. Y'all ain't even retweeting me, man. At least if I can't get $1, can y'all give me a retweet or a like?
And what's so crazy? Like, I followed you enough on social media that you don't even participate in stuff like that.
That's a fact.
So it's funny to see.
Yes,
it's funny to see because I remember one time it was like like some type of Foot Locker drawing. You was like, is this real? Like, this ain't real, right? You tagged me in this.
I mean, and it's funny because I do like, I think it's, I join in on some of the stuff or whatever. When I seen people talking about, it's my birthday or whatever, hit me on the Cash App. I'm like, shit, nigga, it's my birthday too. What's up? You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, I put it into my profile for a little bit because I think it's funny. But if y'all end up, sending me something, I appreciate it. If something does happen to come to the Cash App, I will welcome it. But I just don't think it's real. So y'all got to relax. Y'all got to quit giving them all of this promotion for free.
Pretty much.
Buvudo, the oversaturation of gifts. Going back, this is one thing you and I, we joke about, we go back and forth about all the time or whatever. I'm going back to the Kawaii, what it do, baby, what it, the Marsai Martin when she's surprised at the awards, the little black dude thinking in the chair. We recently had Scopo Tumana, and then we got, the Idris, the hot ones. And this was funny. So I found your Twitter when her cooking is trash, but you trying to smash. That was one of the funny ones or whatever from that. Do you get tired of them? Is there anyone in particular? And let me say a few more just so it'll refresh your memory. At this point, we're now people are kind of moving past Popeyes, and people are almost over the DMX challenge. You had Amber Rose, she did her little thing, and she had Kalu in there. So now Lathan did one. Jada killed it. But we've now resurrected the SpongeBob, all right, I'm gonna head out meme. When you just came over to hit like usual, but she talking about where is this going? All right, I'm gonna head out.
I'm head out.
But do you get tired of them? You know what I mean? What do you think about that? All the gifts and people just kind of running them into the ground.
Yeah, like the School Tumana or whatever that one is. Like, I really wish people would let that one go. But for the most part, I mean, they keep the social media train going, like, because it's only so many things that we as a community can tweet about, right? There's only so much that we can do. So the memes have become indeed a part of the culture. The GIFs have become indeed a part of the culture, and I feel like there's some entity, and I can never put my finger on it, that makes these things and makes them popular. Because, look at Sway the Remix guy. Like, that is what he's been able to do with like a video, something that went viral, and now he makes it into a song. Like, people have built businesses and brands off of GIFs and memes.
Yes.
That's weird. That's wild to me. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that because you saw opportunity in an ever-changing industry. You jumped on it. But we look at it from the standpoint of just, we consume social media, and me and you be like, oh, this is the new meme for this week, or this is the new GIF coming out for this month. And it's like, I think it's really somebody that makes these things. Like, it can't be any other
it might
way.
be whatchamacallit from Twitter. It might be they was just saying his name the other day. Who founded Twitter? What's his Jack from Twitter? It might be Jack from Twitter that's doing this shit. Ain't no telling.
It might be, but it seems like Black Twitter is the one that gets these trains going. On it. We talk about that. Everything from the Popeyes chicken sandwich and all the money that it allegedly made. I haven't seen no Forbes report, so I don't believe none of that shit. But what I'm saying, people just, it made $23 million. Where's the financial report on that?
Right, that's a fact.
Where can I find that?
Yeah, I've been thinking, who gonna franchise Popeyes? I know it's some niggas that was like, you know what? Let me buy a couple of these Popeyes franchises. You know what I mean? But I ain't heard nothing about that. So I'm trying to really see who really on the come up, like who really smart. If you really smart, you should be franchising Popeyes if that's the case. But ain't nobody gonna talk about that.
Yeah, people say like y'all not ready to have that conversation. Nobody was talking to you, so it don't really matter, fam.
But that's the type of stuff I think about because, like you say, Black Twitter and whatever really is Black Twitter, man. Is it the hashtag? Is it just when people say Black Twitter? Is it us? My wife thinks I'm a part of Black Twitter. And if she only knew, like you just said it, man, you don't even be participating in this. My wife really think I'm a part of Twitter. And I'm like, yo, I'm really not. Like, I'm a part of Twitter, but I'm not really. Black Twitter, I look at as one thing. just to be honest. And then you have these little niches. And I feel like I'm in the niche of Black Twitter. If I'm a part of it, I'm in the niche part. I'm not like fully engaged in putting out fight clips and whatever the fuck Black Twitter is doing or whatever. Something you said, just to go back to it, with all of these different gifts, and again, it's funny, but some of them, they should be dying sooner than later. Just like you say with the Scopo shit, that's still kind of rearing its ugly head or whatever. It's still kind of, coming back. And I feel like, man, Twitter will never be, what it was, where it was a lot of dialogue or whatever. Like it ain't never gonna go back to just that. Even though we have it in these different little pockets, the biggest thing that's gonna be trending is these gifts, or again, what we talked about with Aisha and just different things that kind of get blown out of proportion.
Right.
I think you're on are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
So I'm not on Facebook. So I'm gonna just ask you, because it's so funny how, this is going on over here on Facebook. This is going on IG. This is going on Twitter. Do you see some of that, like, on Facebook? Do you see some of the same things that you see on Twitter on Facebook?
Not at all. The Spootumana stuff is strictly Twitter.
Yeah.
Strictly Twitter. And, IG, you have like certain challenges and certain memes. Like every social media has its poison, because on Facebook, it's a completely different world than Twitter. Completely. Only reason I got on Facebook, like I had deactivated my old account, from like when I was initially in college and everything. But when I started back up, when we started the podcast, I was like, well, I have to be visible, So I forced myself to get back on Facebook. And then your Facebook friends and your Twitter friends are completely different. I could post something on Facebook that would get, all kind of likes and shares and posts. That's not my podcast stuff. But if I post my podcast stuff on Twitter, I get all likes, shares, and posts. And it's like vice versa.
Yeah.
I could be deep on Twitter. Nobody sees it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm having a reflective moment.
Right.
But if I have a reflective moment on Facebook, oh, that's what's up. Cool. Love, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I find it weird that even though, social media is all the same thing, it brings different people to different platforms. And you almost have to, I don't know if you cater, dumb down. It's weird. But it's just like, I think that those entities that I alluded to, I just feel like it's something for Facebook. It's memes and fight pictures and videos. All that's Facebook.
Yeah.
And you can't even take certain videos off of Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Instagram is its own world. And then like Twitter is its own world.
Okay. And that's what I was going to ask, because I've been off of Facebook for a long time. I ain't getting back on there. People that tried to get me. It's not happening. I don't care. I'm mad that Instagram makes you integrate your business stuff and you got to go through Facebook. But guess what, bitches? You're not going to get me. I'm not getting back on there. That's the end of it or whatever. I don't care if I never have a little business page on Instagram. It's not happening, Facebook. I don't care. With that being said, is there anyone in particular that, outside of this, because you already said the Scopo Tumana shit, but just over the ones that we've talked about over this past year, man. And I know we gotta, they even, I don't like to talk about this one, but I'm gonna bring it up real quick. They got the OJ one, which I'm just like, hey man, y'all gotta relax with that OJ. Is there anyone in particular that you just like, yo, this one, I hate this one. You know what I mean? Even though it might make you laugh, it's like, yo, I hate this one.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not a big fan of the Idris Hot Wing one. Like, it's just, it's like, where did y'all pull? Like, I mean, I've seen that show before, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, why this one? Like, and why is this the chosen clip that goes viral?
Yep.
And it's just weird because, like, the OJ thing, that was real wild. That was like, it's almost like offensively funny. And I find a lot of stuff that's offensive to kind of be funny. Like, I'm a Family Guy nigga. Like, I watch that and crack up. I love American Dad. I love all those shows. So it's like certain stuff just don't offend me.
Yeah.
And I find the humor in a lot of stuff. But if I didn't find the humor in the OJ one, that might be a little wild.
That's a fact. It's funny that you said, man, I don't even know if you know, but the Idris one, there was and I think there's a few out there, but there was there's one with Shaq. And that kind of it never got as big as this one with Idris. But I think I know why that one got that big, because it's Idris. You know what I mean? Because we talking about somebody who was the sexiest, who was named the sexiest man alive.
Yeah.
So it's even funnier when you got somebody like him. So not only are the guys going to engage, but the women are going to engage too.
Yeah. Because we used to seeing Shaq being a goofball anyway. So he bit that wing, and I think he made this facial expression that was really, really funny. But I I get why, you never see Idris break his cool. You know what I'm saying? So that is a moment within itself. So I get why it went viral. I just wasn't a big fan.
Yeah. I think, and this was the one we talked about, the little black dude thinking in the chair, which is still going on right now. The little dude, people, that is the one where I'm like, yo, I'm so sick of seeing this. Like, that one gets killed, gets reused so much. And that's kind of like my one. Even though, again, sometimes it's funny, but I'm like, yo, y'all got to let this go. And now they've done so many. Have you seen him? Like, they have, like, I guess it's like from some type of TV show or YouTube or something like that. So like, now they got like all these different ones of that same dude. They got one where he like talking to his friend, and they got so many different ones of this one dude or whatever. I'm like, wow.
It's funny because you got the resurgence of the Arthur memes, the SpongeBob gets reused over and over again. Like, and the one where the girl is like peering outside. It's like either like they made it to where it can be unisex. Like, she looks like a girl or a guy, but she's looking outside mad.
Yeah.
And they use that over and over. Like, I mean, no lie, the captions are funny, but I was like, why? Like, why is this a thing?
So I think you talking about the Ed and Eddie one?
Yes, that's what it was. Ed, Eddie. Okay, yes.
Yep. That's hilarious. I'm gonna tell you another one I don't like, and I don't care for y'all people listening. I don't care if y'all don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like y'all women putting men in these damn wigs and weaves and
man.
I'm sick of y'all. I know y'all think that's funny or whatever, man. And again, we can't. You know what's so bad about it is that we cannot do the opposite. If we give Sanaa a bald fade or something, y'all gonna be like, "Oh, Sanaa look good." Like, if we do the same thing, y'all gonna say they look good or whatever. But y'all women being with, whether it's Chris Evans, I've seen it with Don Cheadle. They've done it with there's somebody new, like somebody that's like a dude. They did. I can't think of the guy's name right now. But like, y'all get everybody. Y'all got
they got Big Sean real good.
Yes, I seen that.
They got Big Sean. Yeah. They got Big Sean real good. But let me get into this one. Like, the ones I really enjoy, but I can never really laugh because it provokes like a crazy conversation on the timeline. And I'll give this disclaimer. I know that R. Kelly is a piece of shit. I know that he has abused black women for years and years. But these jokes have to fly when it comes to this man. And like, when I see those memes, and just like, I literally like cry. Like, I'm dying because like somebody put like a kufi on his head when he was in that interview with Gayle King, and he was pointing to his brain. Bro, like, when I say I hollered, like, I know this. Like, it's kind of like you can't joke on R. Kelly because like somebody be triggered by it. I'm not supporting what he does. I'm laughing at his pain right now.
This is why look, bro. You said something, and look, I will not confirm nor deny that I also find a little bit of enjoyment out of these same things that you speak of. I will neither confirm nor deny.
And that's how I always operated, because like I find, like, when I say I let these jokes fly about R. Kelly, but I can never say it on the timeline because I know somebody would be upset, and I don't have the energy to go back. Like, I don't do that negative back and forth shit.
And
that's
again,
not gonna be me.
Again, we know social media. I accredit social media for being like 90 to 98% fun and games. Like, I think it's all for jokes and talking shit, and then there's a little bit of seriousness or whatever. And so, even with the R. Kelly stuff, there have been some that, even though I didn't want to like it, I had to like it. It was too funny for me not to. The tinfoil and just like, I think one of them had laser beams coming out of his eyes. Like, people, when that kind of hit, and people took that and they chopped it up. Some of that stuff is hilarious. But yes, you will rarely see me like it or retweet it, man.
Like, I barely like them or retweet them, but if you talking about like in real life, am I laughing hysterically at it? Yes.
There y'all go. Y'all can add us or feel however y'all want to feel about that. But y'all be retweeting them anyway. I see my timeline. Niggas be getting a good laugh off of them. So it ain't just us. We just may do it on the low. Y'all do it on the timeline or whatever.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Keeping it going. And again, this ain't rapid fire because we've been talking for a minute, but it's kind of just like, all right, like I said, man, I had to come up with something special for ours to talk about some different stuff. Wow. Now, I'm sorry to do this to you, man, but Are you or are you not one of Aubrey's angels?
And you know what's funny, man? Like I always joke about Aubrey's angels, but I am a fan of Drake, but I do call out a lot of his bullshit. But Angel is a stan. Like they think like his album's a classic. I can't tell you one Drake album like that's a classic to me. You know what I'm saying? Do I enjoy his music? Oh hell yeah! Like I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
Yes, no, and that's funny. I was gonna ask you that. I was gonna ask you to define Aubrey's angels because I don't think I've seen anyone say that before you.
Because man, it's funny, man. It's like these people really go off for Drake, and I get you. He's a great artist. You know what I'm saying? For whatever the however you define him, right? But if you're talking about rapper, nah.
Okay. So to make sense of it, okay, no. Go ahead and finish. I got a follow-up question because I want to put this into perspective for other people who sitting there like, what the hell is an Aubrey angel? So okay. What were you about to say? You said okay.
Because just with Aubrey and his style of music, right? He's kind of changed what we deem to be rap albums, right? Like he makes a great array of music for multiple genres and puts it on one effort. I don't even call it shit albums anymore. Them just be efforts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like you can't even define what he does anymore.
Yep.
Like now, does Aubrey make music that slaps to me? Yes. But has he made a complete body of work? I think that's debatable.
Yeah.
I think 2 of his albums are complete body of works. Mm-hmm. I don't give them classic titles because they're not rap albums. I don't know what to call them.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that I say that. But when I get to Aubrey's Angels, those are niggas that be like, oh, Scorpion was the best album last year. And you and I know.
Oh, wow.
That's not even a top 5 joint from last year.
Got it. Now that actually yes. You put it into perspective for me. Because there are people out there that's like, look, he got better music than Pac, than Biggie, Jay-Z. That's crazy. That is like insanity. Like y'all gotta relax. Like I know he got billion of streams, he billion of this, he whatever it is. But it's like, hey man, like apples to apples, like he has capitalized. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. Drake is like, and I hate to say this, but Drake is damn near the Kevin Hart of rap. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that is the perfect analogy for him.
He's not
the best.
He's not the best. He's not the best. But you cannot deny his selling power, his buying power, and all like his following. Mm-hmm. You cannot deny that. The men lie, women lie.
Numbers don't. Yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like you cannot argue against that. But I'm not putting him in me. Forget the ghostwriting. This is not even me just talking about ghostwriting, right? Yeah. I cannot put him in my top 5. I can't do it. You know what I mean?
You don't have a classic album. Like you don't. Like, and if people consider Take Care to be his classic, right? That's not a pure rap album.
It's not.
It's kind of like in the same breath as a Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, right? Miseducation, like she got busy on her rap tip, that album, but is most known for the R&B stuff. So how can you define that and say it's a great rap album?
Ooh, boy, you just brought up a good point, and I'm not gonna touch that. I'm gonna let you have that one. Miseducation and Take Care. Y'all have that debate on the spot. Right? But no, you are right. I was gonna say like Kid Cudi or so. Like I was gonna bring it to somebody else because Lauryn is like, she's like Lauryn is so big, and people still have these different debates on whether she should be this, whether she should be that. Where you can't underrate what she did with the foodies, and you can't do this. And I honestly, me personally, I agree. I agree with what you're saying right now, and I agree overall that I can't put Lauryn up there, man. Not off of one album. I'm sorry, and I can't sit here and say, well, if I put all the verses together from the Fugees. Now, this is going to be unpopular for some of y'all. I didn't listen to the Fugees. I grew up, and I've said this on Twitter, whatever. I grew up on gangster rap, and I grew up on West Coast rap. So
please talk about it, because you grew up in art. Now this is getting back to our regional conversation that we had earlier, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in St. Louis. I mean, I'm from East St. Louis, which is basically the St. Louis area, right? So we don't have a mainstream hip hop sound pre Nelly, right? So what do you think we listen to? Southern, No Limit, Cash Money, 3-6 Mafia, and West Coast rap. So if you listen to East Coast and you hear, you was a different nigga. Like if you listen to like Common Sense and Jay Dilla beats, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like you were a different guy. But we were predicated on Southern and West Coast music. So that's why my view on music is so different.
Yep.
So somebody can be like, Rakim, well, not Rakim. Let me give you like what's the East Coast guy that was hot? Like not Jay-Z or Nas. Like let's say.
What you mean, like Q-Tip or?
Let's just say I didn't grow up listening to a Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, Tribe Called
Quest. That wasn't my vibe. Right. That wasn't. Now, as I've grown older and became more of a hip hop fan, and I started broadening my horizons and went back to listen to that stuff, I respect them.
Yeah.
But I would never say they're better than Outkast. I would never say that they better than anything that I listened to growing up, because that's just what I listened to.
Ooh, yeah, that's one of them. That's another one of them.
It's a regional thing, and nobody can really understand that, because I grew up listening to this. You can never say nothing bad about Cash Money and No Limit to me, ever.
Yeah.
Or 3-6 Mafia. Wow. You can't.
Yeah. No, but you know what's so damn? That's crazy that you say that, man. Because I was like that for so long. I'm not necessarily like that now, but you are.
Yeah, not now, but I'm talking about like that. That's my hip hop base now. No, when Jay-Z started making crossover records, that's when I recognized who Jay-Z was. Now I can start listening to other stuff.
Yes. Dude, it's so crazy that you said it, because I'm really sitting here thinking about Tribe and Outkast. And I know how big Outkast was and what I loved and this, that, and the third. And then again, going back, listening to Tribe and, what was it? It's not the 7 Day Theory. What is it?
Hold on. Was it Midnight Marauders? It was 7 Day Theory. What's the other joint? Because I got a Tribe album on my phone. Downloaded. Let me see.
Look, y'all don't kill us or whatever.
Right.
The only reason I'm thinking about that, because again,
Southern player. What a low end? The low end theory.
I think that. Yeah. I think that was. But it's like when I think about those, and I think about again Southern Playalistic Cadillac music, like the Outkast albums and what that does and how it make you feel. Because I'm not from the East Coast, I don't feel it. Like it doesn't resonate. It don't speak to my spirit or whatever. Like the Outkast stuff.
Listen,
does.
This where me and you, we definitely, are brothers of the same mold when it comes to this, because they speak to something that you can relate to. I don't know what B is. I don't know what, the New York slang is. Like, what I'm saying? Because I didn't grow up around it. I don't understand it. I don't understand the references. But if you give me something that I can refer to, what I'm saying? Okay, maybe I just love that a little bit more. That's not to say what you do is trash.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of hip hop purists or East Coast people, I would say, can understand that concept, because, you guys are the Mecca. We always understood that. But we live a different way out here.
Yeah. And our
bias, a different way. Yeah.
Yes. And our bias is, in my opinion, I know we talked about it online, but our bias is not as strong as theirs. Like their bias is strong. You know what I mean? We will allow these other things. Like you say, I can appreciate Tribe. I can say this about Q-Tip. I can say this about, Busta Rhymes and, just different people, from that side or whatever, whereas they may not have that same feeling about a lot of our artists. And it's funny, like you said, we grew up off of Southern and West Coast, whereas they grew up off of East Coast and then little trickles of other stuff here and there or whatever. But that was our heavy stuff. And it's funny, like you say, Big Crit talk about it. You know what I mean? I can't rock with it if I can't feel it. Like it's something about the fact that we can feel our stuff and we can understand how y'all can feel that, but we didn't grow up there. Like we not from that, so we don't feel it the same way. And that was just a little sidebar. I knew he was gonna talk about music a little bit here.
My bad, man. You know, we be having these like spirit debates on the timeline. It's just like we never really sat down and chopped it up like this. So that's why all this is coming out.
And you making me think, because again, it's like, yo, when you like I said, when you said take care of miseducation, I say, oh, in my head, I say, oh shit. I was like, whoa. I was like, you know what? I wouldn't have did that. I would have pulled it a little bit, you know, I would have used Kanye or somebody else, but you making that's a good point. It's a good point regardless. I know the internet would be like, you cannot even compare this to miseducation, but I've said this now, you know, I'll say it again. This may be an unpopular opinion, but miseducation is not one of the greatest rap albums all the time to me. It's not. I've listened to it and this, that, and I'm like, I feel like most people don't even know the songs on that album. Like they can't say the tracks that's on that album. I feel like most people, they know the singing.
The singles.
Singles and the singing. That is it.
Yeah.
I feel like y'all don't know the B-sides. You know what I mean? Like don't nobody know that. Y'all just say that. And again, I feel like at this point, it's kind of like lore. Like it's like history. People don't even. It's like blasphemy if you say something otherwise. But it's like when it comes to pop, people songs, they can listen to specific albums. When it comes to other artists, whether it's Biggie, whoever it is, it's kind of funny. Lauren gets thrown in.
Yeah.
But to me, Lauren may not even be Missy. You know what I mean?
Listen, Lauren is thrown in merely off of the fact that she had, you know, undoubtedly all this great success in a short time frame, and she's influenced so many other artists, right?
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily her body of work.
Yes.
It's not the body of work, because Missy, if you ask Missy is the GOAT of the women MCs. If you ask me.
Yeah.
And that's not even a bias of me growing up off of her. I'm talking about track record, influence, and crossover. Like, look at everything. And she can spit. Come on, stop playing with me.
Yeah. I'll let you get, no.
My bad. But we do this all the time. You know that, man.
And that's why I'm like, yo, the way we will talk about reasonable doubt, the way we talk about Lord, why am I forgetting names or whatever? But anyway, we'll talk about some of these artists, and the miseducation is not talked about in that same aspect. And what I mean is, are people listening to it today? I've heard like one person that, man, I listened to Miseducation the other day. Brother, you're the only, like, it's not a lot of you. Not a lot of, like, people talk like it. And I think a lot of it is like hype beasts and clout type shit. Like people just like to say it because it sound like, man, you gotta say that. Like you ain't no real hip hop head if you don't say miseducation. But it's like, I don't know if that necessarily, you know what I mean? Like you just kind of throwing that in, like just
the only song I really take away from that was the collab with D'Angelo. I think that was a dope song, but that's an R&B song. It's not a rap song.
And that's what I'm saying. So with these other albums, it's like, people still go back and like, 25th anniversary of Reasonable Doubt. You know what I mean? 25th anniversary of this, 25th anniversary of that. Miseducation. I don't remember nobody like quoting different songs. Everybody just talked about the singing. People was going like song for song. There was different things about each song on these other rappers' albums, but Lauren don't get that same thing or whatever. And that ain't got nothing to do with Lauren being a woman. I feel like had Lauren put out another album, we know she had whatever tax problem, whatever problem she had, we know that happened, but Lauren was supposed to put out another album. And that's what puts her on a different scale to me. I cannot put her in the same scale as some of these other people because, and like I said, I've recently seen this argument where they're like, man, but that one album and this many songs is better than people whole catalogs. And I'm like, damn, man, I hate
you bugging. You bugging. Like, nah. Like, because this is the thing, when you have these best rapper debates with people, what's your criteria? Like, that's what we need to know. And then after then, we can kind of get into your regional bias, you know, all of that. But you have to develop a clear-cut criteria because there's a lot of people that wouldn't make the list if you're talking about solo albums, right? You know what I'm saying? And damn, we going there. Like, like a 3 Stacks, right? This is the greatest debate of them all.
I do it.
Is he a top rapper? I'm trying not to go there, but damn, it was like we was going there anyway. But it's like, okay, is 3 Stacks a top tier rapper? I mean, is he a top 5 MC or top 10?
Are you asking me?
Skill wise, no, I'm just saying. Just
okay.
hypothetically. I'm just saying skill wise. Yeah, skill wise. But what's your criteria? Because he doesn't have a solo album. Oh, so we're gonna go off those features that he was burning up when he was quote unquote retired, plus the Outcast stuff. Nah, that ain't enough for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a, and then they be like, oh, well, Love Below is that, well, that's kind of like the mode of what we were just talking about with Lauryn Hill. It's not purely rap. I think he's one of the best. I think he is. But if you're going off criteria, Big Boy's better than him on paper because Big Boy gave us 3 albums. I'm just saying, just people stuff like that.
I'm not going to talk about people don't give Big Boy enough credit, man. And I think they don't realize his relevance. I've asked people, what would Outkast be without Big Boy? I'm like, y'all will sit here and do, and again, whether it's warranted or not, yes, Andre should get the credit, but I'm just like, Big Boy should get the credit too. Y'all act like he was rapping by himself, and y'all act like he was rapping circles around Big Boy. Big Boy was holding his own. Like, y'all act like he was just washing Big Boy all of them.
Let's talk about this, man. Andre had identity issues. That's why Outkast is no more, right? Because Andre gets the artsy label, which he is. Like, he's an artist, right? And he was scared of what was coming. Like, he felt success was coming too much. That's why he walked away. Like, he said it in the song with T.I. Sorry. Like, you know, I had to call my rap partner to apologize by walking off stage at tour. Like he was cracking under that pressure. Big Boy was handling it just fine. So that, I'm not saying that's a character flaw. Like, you know, because, you know, to each his own, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, look at what's going on, right? And he fell out of love with rapping.
Yeah.
He could easily be out here doing that. It's 40-plus-year-old rappers out here that's still relevant and still giving us great music. So, you know what I'm saying? You have no reason not to necessarily give us the solo album, especially if you've been teasing it. We wouldn't care if you didn't tease it.
Man, he could have been like Lenny Kravitz. He could have been like any other, Bob Marley. Like, people will put him into this category with the Bob, with Lenny, with some of these people, but he kind of should be in his own thing because, again, Lenny's still putting out albums to this day. You know what I mean? Still putting out albums or whatever. And again, even with him going into acting and stuff, he kind of fell back from that. Like, this is a guy who super talented, probably could have did anything that he wanted to do. I mean, right now, I think he's playing instruments and flutes on trains and shit. He's just doing random stuff right now. But he has the luxury to be able to do that, man, because they did make a lot of money. They did, sell a lot of records. You know what I mean? But I am with you in that aspect. Yes, I do put him with Big Pun, Big L, and who, these other people who I would say are lyricists who are, maybe you could give him like a poet or something like that or whatever. I probably would put him in that. But yes, when you want to put your criteria together, it's like, all right, let's talk about apples to apples. And then we can kind of go from there.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm not going to do this because we are going to move over from this because I know some of y'all are like, all right, we was good with the funny stuff. Now y'all getting serious. But even with Big, I have an argument with Big because I feel like Big had 2 albums. And as dope as these albums are, again, people kind of downplay what DMX did with the double albums and both of them going play. Like, people downplay, some other people. And again, I'm like, dang, Big had 2 albums. Pac had this many. He developed as an artist. He did this, that, and that. Big had these 2. I really would have liked to see what Big would have done past those first 2. Like, I would have liked to
Thank you. That's why I can never say that he's the overall GOAT. Like, I think he's one of the best to ever pick up the mic. You know what I'm saying? Based off his ability, his rhyme schemes, the way he presented himself, the way he crossed over. Like, Big was that dude. You know what I'm saying? I'll never take away nothing from him. But I can never give him the nod over Jay, only because Jay has been out here doing it for 20 years. Like, he took his lumps. We don't know what, like, Big might have did a song with Migos or something if he was still out here. You know what I'm saying? We never would have known because, like, and that's the mystique of Big because he was taken down undoubtedly in his prime. Big was, 24 when he died?
That's a fact. Pac was,
we don't know.
Like 25.
Exactly. We don't know what could have been.
Yep.
And that's the mystique of a Tupac and Big. That's why we should never give them. We should always give them roses. You know what I'm saying? But they became martyrs for hip hop, so now they're just like they're untouchable. Yeah. So you can never say nothing bad about them. But you look at somebody like, Jay-Z is my favorite rapper, but I do make these parallels because he's been a model of consistency.
Yeah.
Like he made like some risque moves, like doing that song with UGK when they was apprehensive about doing it. And like he did the song with Juvenile, like he did songs like that crossed over because Jay saw it. That's why I give him credit for when a lot of New York MCs wouldn't try to do that.
That's a fact. I feel like you took a shot at Everything Is Love, you know what I mean? Because they got that Migos. I feel like that was a shot. I just want to call that
out. No, I didn't even think, you know what? I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking like Biggie would try to do trap music because maybe the music that he was making, like, you got to switch it up. You can't be out here and be the GOAT and did 2 albums and then that's just it, right?
Yeah. You know what's so funny? It's like I don't know, man. When I listen to Jadakiss, when I listen to Styles P, and I hear them talk about that and to see what they're doing now, it's like they've kind of stuck. Again, Styles P and Dave East did a whole project last year together, or whatever. And it's like I could see Big doing something like that, opposed to him maybe changing and getting with some of these Southern. It's like, again, we don't know. But it's hard for me to just sit there and take 2 albums and then put it like it's hard. Like I just really have to. Yeah. I call a spade a spade. I'm like, yo, he had 2 albums. Like so, I just put him. Listen, it's a different thing.
As much as I fuck with Big, I wouldn't put him over Nas, and I don't even like Nas music like that.
Oh man,
because I got more to go off of.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah. Look, me and you, we got to do a separate music thing. Cause look, you making me think and I want to talk about it. And I was like, I have to sit here and think, man. Like when I talk to you, I have to think. And then I have to figure out if I want to actually respond.
I feel that. I feel that. I respect
it. Man, this is just good. But this is what we do. If y'all have never seen us on social media, man, like me and this guy, man, we can go back. Like I said, man, good spirit, good soul, and we can just do this or whatever. But I got a couple more things, and then we're going to wrap up whatever. I know we've been talking a long time, but we're going to wrap up. We ain't going to hold y'all no longer. I'm not going to hold my guest any longer, whatever. And I'm sure that my wife probably waiting on me, but she probably laying down right now, even though it's Labor Day weekend. Wow. So, did you see, and this is again going back to, talking about Drake. And let me say this before I forget. Man, you disrespectful, man, calling that man Aubrey. I say you call that man Aubrey. You call that man Drake. You call that man Aubrey, man. That's just disrespectful.
That's his name. How is that disrespectful? I don't see how calling that man by his government name is disrespectful.
You was talking about that in rap, and you was like, man, Aubrey ain't got. I'm like, man, Aubrey ain't got no plastics. If that's the case, Drake got. That's hilarious. Okay, so
amen.
Did you see Drake on Joe Budden's live talking about the story of Adidon and no one playing it, only Rob Markman from Genius knowing the lyrics? Did you see that?
I caught wind of it. I didn't see I saw I guess the after somebody made like a article about it, but this is why I call him Aubrey. Aubrey does stuff like that. Like, listen. After I just gave Nikki her roses for saying, hey, people are human, right? Cool. Drake is an actor. You know what I'm saying? Drake, I say this. Aubrey is an actor. Drake is his greatest role. You know what I'm saying? You get where I'm going with this. So it's like, I hate that, why are you still harboring over the story of Adidon? Like, why are you on Joe Budden's live? Like, Drake is undoubtedly one of the biggest stars in the world right now. Why are you paying attention to Joe Budden and his live?
Why can't hold on, man? Why can't he do that, man? I'm on the other side of this conversation. I hear people saying that, but I kind of get that it's funny, but I also get that he's serious. It's shade, but it's like it's funny, but it's funny, it's petty, and it's serious because he like for real. He like, man, you got a little Airbnb. I know you ain't see the whole thing, but no, he was saying some real stuff. It's like, yo,
he was in
like snapping, but it's like some real stuff. He said, he told Joe Budden to play Pump It Up. Joe said, I cut this shit on right now. He was like, you know what I mean? Like he told Joe, he said, play all them diss songs and see if they still hidden, if they still moving.
Okay, now that's a good one. I'll give Aubrey that one.
But at the same time, play all them, like he was like taking some shots, I was like, damn. And what Joe said something back, like, hey, that's not, he's like, hey, now that's not cool. That's not, you know what I mean? But you could, how Joe is or whatever. Like he kind of played it out, but I'm like, damn, You put out like 4 tracks, like you put out 17 minutes of songs, Joe, and it nobody cared. And I'm like, oh, that look kind of. And then again, when you talk about people knowing the story, Adidon, and I'm like, you can do that. Just like he could, again, him and Meek cool, so he's not gonna throw that Meek thing out there. He's not gonna throw what Meek put out. But it's like he can do that because again, everything that you just said, he talking from a position that's so high. He can say anything. He could literally be joking, but he's so high that it's probably a little truth to it, and he probably could be serious at the same time. And even if he wasn't, he too big of an artist to just say something. He just unfortunately he's so big he can't just say stuff.
And that's the thing. Like people don't act like the kings and queens that they are. Like we said, like Nicki and Drake are two of the biggest stars in the world, regardless of genre of music that they put out, right? So it's just like, why do you all take the time out? And I put Nicki on a different pedestal than I would put Drake because of the fact that I think Nicki is like one of the best that I think Nicki should move in a better way because she can do so much more. You know what I'm saying? I think Drake is just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him being bigger than what he is now, if that makes sense. I think there's still more room for Nicki to grow.
Like I say, man, I don't think I've said this online, but anyway, I don't think Drake stuff is gonna live. I don't think his music is gonna live. Like I don't think it's gonna stand the test of time, to be honest. I think we not listen to forever. Like it's like certain songs, it's like ain't nobody listening to that. Ain't no like hyper, whatever it is. He don't really have even the songs he's put out that's been so big, and you know what I mean. Now he get the rate, whatever he doing that's like Afro beats and whatever the next thing he gonna hop on. It's like them songs is gonna be here and then they gonna be gone.
I don't think. The thing is, Drake doesn't try to swing for the fence and make like something that's out of the box where it's like it's gonna be timeless, right? I think he sticks to a box of what's current and what's hip, and I'm gonna just ride this wave, and that's what always been my criticism of him. And people don't want to see it. I was like, Drake can do Afro beats, he can do reggae, he can do New York style rapping, he can do chopped and screwed, all on the same effort. You know what I'm saying? It's like why are you doing all this in one album? That's why I can never follow him and say that he has a classic. Like, man, bro, you giving me 6 different genres in an hour, bro. Like, I don't know what I'm listening to.
Talk about Scorpion, man. This is why I say we got to do a separate. This makes me want to go back to Scorpion just with you saying that or whatever. Like, damn, that's good. But I will say this to put a cap on it, man. People wanted artists from the '90s to be more visible. They wanted to know about them. They wanted to know what was behind the scenes. Now we have this new era of seeing behind the curtain as people is like, go back behind the curtain. So there is some duality that we got to hold accountable. It's like, damn, y'all asked for this. Y'all asked for IGTV and people to be out there and show us how this. Yeah. And then now y'all saying that they don't need to be doing this. They too high. They too this. They need to be like Jay-Z. They need to be like J. Cole. They need to be like Kendrick. And I feel like you're gonna have that. Like at this point it is now. And I think it's okay. I think it's okay to have those artists that are out here that are talking their shit and backing it up. Yeah. And I think including Cardi. Yeah. Because again, the same stuff that these people may not get celebrated for, she gets celebrated for or whatever, because they consider her real and they consider these other people that we can't relate to. We can't relate to Drake. He's fake. He's from Canada. We can't relate to Nicki. She's fake. She's not really as hard and all this stuff. She's a pop artist. She's not even a rapper or whatever. But with Cardi, we can relate to that. We can celebrate it. So I think you're going to have these artists where you're going to have Rhapsody that may be more so behind the scenes and more introspective and more like she's putting out a full collective of music. And then you're going to have, these other people, again, where they're in front of the scenes. They're popular too, but they're in front of the scenes. They out front. So I think, that's just where we are now. Like I say, I'll let y'all kind of think about the rest or whatever, because like I said, we've pretty much hit it on the head. But I think at this point we in now, man, I think I support people getting on to artists. I do feel like, man, yes, we should be able to critique artists. We should be able to share our feelings, whether we like an album, whether we don't like an album, whatever the case may be. And sometimes, the artist should be able to give us that same energy or whatever. My only thing with Nicki, I got to keep going. My only thing with Nicki is that I just want her to rap. That's my only thing. It's like, damn, Nicki, Look, I mess with you. This stuff she doing now is kind of corny to me. It was some stuff that Meek did during that whole time that I felt like was corny with Wale and with Drake, and just like I felt like that was the Twitter thing, like that was real corny to me. This stuff that Nicki doing now is corny to me, and she wasn't. I've kind of rock with Nicki, but now it's like, yo, you getting corny. Like I just want to hear the music. I want to hear better stuff. Pink Print to me, that's her most vulnerable album. That's the album where I heard her talk more about her life than any of the other albums I felt. You know what I mean? Because that was her just making music. The Pink Print to me was really the first time where it's like, okay, now she kind of pulling behind the curtains and talking about her feelings and her family and mom and whatever the case may be. So that was different. All right. This the last thing. I know you want to, you know what I mean? This is it. Because I got to let you go. And I know I didn't talk too much. So for those of you who don't know, Ralph won't let me be great. So I'm trying to go viral. I might do ASMR, or I might a gaming, gamer, or I might TikTok. TikTok is like the new thing or whatever shit. You know what I mean? I might do that, but I can't get no support from Ralph. You know what I mean? So I want to ask Ralph, man, why you don't support me, man?
Now, AJ, if you put out like a fave video, or if you wanna hit the what the kids doing, the whoa in the TikTok, I got you. I'll retweet, I'll repost it. I'm just saying, I got you, fam. You know what, AJ? I always looked at you as like the stoic, cool dude. You know what I'm saying? And if I see this side of you, it's probably gonna change my perception. Because like AJ has always been like, this is what I've always like, I would say admired about you. I think that you always kind of stood off. You was like, hey, I don't really do this social media shit, but I'm here and I'm a rock and I'm a interact and do my for my podcast. Because like when you was doing your IG videos, I was like, I instantly hit your DM. I was like, hey, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, I had to acknowledge that AJ was out here showing his face and talking. Because you'll never see that again. Like even AJ said, like you'll never see this again. But man, I'll never hate on you, man. I don't do that, baby. I just let everybody flirt.
Like the R. Kelly memes. You're gonna just kind of hold. You're gonna kind of be back. You're gonna be looking and thinking one thing, but you're gonna be getting out of hand, man.
This is wild, man. But I mean, no,
you don't want to let me live my best life. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
You threw me off with that question. Yeah. No, I'm gonna let you live your whole best life, man. I'll never hold
Ralphie the body. Ralphie, look, and I supported you. You know what I mean? With the Fresh Fade Fridays or whatever. I supported you. You know what I mean? So look, when I do my AJ the body, if I do anything, hey, man, I need you to support me is all I'm saying, man.
I got you. I might if you need a call or like for people to do something, I got you. Just say it. You know I'm with it, man. Like whatever we got to do. Like you trying to go hood viral. Is that what you said? We trying to go hood viral. We ain't trying to go real viral.
I just need 20. I just need 20 likes. That's it. That's it. That's all I need, man. Now look, this has been good, man. I wanted to end it on a light note, man. But I appreciate you for coming to the show, man. I appreciate the energy that you put out into the space, man. Your commentary on Twitter, Instagram, man.
Thank you, man.
Like I say, it's I think everybody, man, and I may have not said this in a while, but I'm like, yo, everybody should follow Ralph, man. You know what I mean? I'm talking about this. You gonna get some good stuff. And Ralph is so funny because unlike most people, Ralph will fall back too. Like you'll see times where he ain't even on social media like this. So I mean, he is a different type of dude, you know what I mean? Where he kind of like we got our similarities in some things to where we get out there, we touch the people, we shake hands and kiss babies and crack jokes, and then we'll fall back.
Yep.
And, look, I know some of y'all don't do that or whatever, but I think at times, man, I think you do need to fall back and just let stuff breathe, man. You don't have to comment on everything. You don't have to be involved with everything, and you don't have to follow every trend. You can jump in and jump out. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, very much so, man.
All right, y'all. Anything else, man? I guess anything else you want to say, man? I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna give the people my socials. I'm gonna give you another opportunity to give them yours, and we out, man.
Oh man, I'll just go with my socials because it was some stuff I wanted to get into. But you know what? If you have me back, we can do a part 2 because I didn't. I just let that go. You know what I'm saying? Because we was going at it. But I'll save it for when we get through. I'll let you know what I was gonna talk about. But no, but yeah, if you want to follow me on the Minor Ralph on Instagram and Twitter, and once again, I am Ralph from Oversaturated The Podcast. You can follow us at Oversat Podcast on Twitter and oversatthepod.com.
All right. This is AJ again, the What We Gonna Do podcast. Y'all know where to find me, What We Gonna Do on Instagram and Twitter. I'm out. I ain't gonna give y'all nothing else. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.
I got the internet going.